Among the Baylor players, and we know about Jalen Petrie and obviously others, Taekwon Thornton lit it up, and Kalen Barnes had a great combine run, and you saw him in person in Vegas. Which of them do you feel like right now is a first or second day pick?
First or second day pick. Petrie's definitely a first or second day pick. I'm going to say second day. I mean, there have been people talking about Jalen slipping into the first round. I don't think he's going to. Kaelin Barnes it's funny, last time I came on, I said I didn't think he played well. I said I didn't think he looked good in drills at the Shrine Bowl. And I'm going to tell you, I've been told otherwise by people that do this for a living. They thought that he looked good, and his speed and what he did translated to what they need in the league. I've been told he could go as high as the third round, which would be day two there. If not, to expect him to go in the fourth.
How much?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
How much did the 40 time shoot him up? Like, say he was in the fourth round. Would that have shot him up into the third round?
There's 32 teams, and these guys do their homework. People had talked about his track time before, but I think to say, we had our evaluation completely done and that 40 time made absolutely zero difference to us, that I don't believe. I think it helped him. What I will say is from the people that I spoke to, it was really about, hey, we loved his speed. We got to see some things that we liked about him that he could do that really translate to our defense. And then seeing the 40 time really confirmed what we saw. And we think he could go in the third round. So, and then other teams did. So I think it's going to be every team has a different value board. Every team evaluates players differently. So I think Kaelin could go second day. He's certainly going to go early third day from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I mean, that's not surprising as how athletic he is, and it's hard to imagine teams not seeing that potential in him and feeling like there's a lot more there. Matt, another guy who sparked the 40 at the Combine was Taekwon Thornton. Heck, there for a couple hours, we thought he had the fastest ever time at at the Combine, but he seems like he's had a pretty productive draft process from the All-Star game to the Combine and then the Pro Day, finishing up what he didn't do it out in Indianapolis. Just in terms of the wide receiver group, I mean, is he kind of in the middle of things? I know he's not one of the top prospects, but has he made up some ground, at least draft stock wise?
So Taekwon, and again, I'm telling you guys what I've heard, not what I do, which is mostly I do my evaluations. I'm not really like one of these guys that talked all 32 teams. I've heard fifth to undrafted, one Taekwon, which I don't get. I will tell you, I have him as a fourth rounder. I like Taekwon's speed a lot. I think there are some things that he can do better, but I liked his speed on film a lot, and that was something I clipped earlier this year. His acceleration is just pop, and he is gone. So I think Taekwon's going to get drafted day 3. I don't think he will go undrafted. It's just a limited amount of teams that I spoke to. I heard fifth round to priority free agent, which I'd rather be a priority free agent than be drafted in the 6th or 7th round at some points anyway.
If the draft had been in January, where would Abram Smith have been drafted, and where will he be drafted, in your opinion, based on just kind of what you hear?
Abram's tough. He's a converted linebacker. He's not going to wow anybody. And I'm comparing him to other running backs. And I love Abram. He's not going to wow anybody with his athleticism. He's a north-south runner. And that's a guy that, for lack of I hate to compare prospects to one another, but you hear people talk and say, well, Abram Smith, Letty Brown, same guy. Well, no, they're not the same guy. They happen to be two of my favorite running backs. But people will lump them in together and, hey, this is a late round guy that you can get at a bargain, and you put him in a mix. I'm going to add on to that. So you mentioned January. In January, people thought Kyron Williams from Notre Dame might be running back 2 or 3. There are now people that think of Kyron Williams as, hey, he's a kid that's going to catch the ball out of the backfield in sub packages as a rotational guy and is a day 3 player. So I don't think it's really changed for Abram Smith, but I do think it's changed for a lot of other guys. And I think what we're seeing is simply running back, I think, is devalued, 1. And 2, I think Abram is what he is, which is a between the tackles, north-south hard runner. And we'll see if he picks up, or well, not we'll see, he's going to. When he picks up in the NFL, we'll see, how much of the rotation he gets.
What do you think of JT Woods? He's tall, he's fast, he's shown good hands, but also another guy that maybe falls under the radar a little bit.
Love him. I think he needs to get drafted in the late round. If somebody doesn't draft him, I think it's a mistake. JT had a really good senior season. I was a little surprised that Jim Nagy got him at the Senior Bowl. I thought he was more of a shrine kid. I love that he went to the Senior Bowl and played well. And he was one of the most under control downhill players with purpose this season. When I think of guys that played like him this season, the safeties, the names that pop up are Seen, Petrie, Cook from Cincinnati, and Woods. And I just named 3 second-day guys and maybe a first-rounder, and JT Woods, who I think is a late-rounder. I think somebody needs to draft him. And there are a lot of safeties go undrafted, but I think you need to actually draft that kid. I'm not going to play around and let his agent take him into a better situation than what I have on my team if I need to.